everybody. John and Lance on the bench on ESPN 97.5 mornings. You can hear us from 7 to 11. Let's talk a little Astros baseball. Hunter Pence was released by the Giants with Springer. He's just got hit. He's had problems before. Do you take a flyer? Now, this guy, Hunter Pence, is old. We know him. You know, he's got the goofy swing, and we've seen Hunter Pence for years. But let's not forget, he hit .297 last year. He was an all-star last year. Maybe there's something still in the tank. Maybe the Astros can get something out of him.
I mean, you know, certainly he'd have to be like you're looking at DH, I guess. You've already got your outfield set. I suppose you could put him in there for Reddick. I don't know that he's going to be any better. You certainly don't want to mess with Tucker. You certainly don't want to mess with Brantley. When Springer's healthy, Springer, I mean, honestly, I don't really see a place he fits other than potentially DH, if that's the way you're going to look at it. And even then, I don't know that he has a lot left in the tank. It's probably not going to cost you anything. You could jump on him if you wanted to, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. You know, I think that because right now I'm in the mode of not adding people, I'm in the mode of subtracting people, frankly. I think I've seen enough from the Astros to know that no matter how it goes for them for the rest of the season, which is half the season, they're not going to be good enough to seriously contend for a World Series. Not with that Justin Verlander, unless the Astros know something very, 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 very comforting about Justin Verlander and his ability to come right back and be ready to roll. I don't see them as a serious contender, John. And if that's the case, I think this conversation we should be having should be about who should be on the way out potentially, as opposed to bringing, a washed player like Hunter Pence.
Well, Hunter Pence is not a guy. Hunter Pence could take a place if you were to trade a Springer, because Springer's a free agent this year. Hunter Pence might be a guy, and he's a guy that's well-liked in the locker room. You need some positive mojo. Maybe he helps younger guys. Maybe he helps Altuve, who knows, who's not a younger guy, but needs some help right now. I think Hunter Pence is just a stopgap, or like you said, a DH option. But how about an Aledmys Diaz? You got Jack Mayfield at third base because Bregman is down. How about an Aledmys Diaz would be nice? He's missed more games than he has played for the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Aledmys Diaz all the time?
I'm over this. I mean, we've already got this with Will Fuller. You really don't need this with Diaz as well, because now you got Mayfield and Toro who have played the third base, and Diaz, this is his role. This is what he's supposed to be. If you can't be available to your team, you're of no use. And this is the second year in a row that they're having to get through this issue with Diaz. And this is, granted, I know it's kind of a strange year, but some things stay the same, I guess, and that's Diaz stays hurt. And that is something that's really hurt this team. Back to Hunter Pence for a second, what you said is pretty interesting. He is a veteran who, even if you were to deal a George Springer, he at least gives you a chance. Not that there's been any talk about that, but should there be talk? If you plug in with the veteran, it's not like you completely quit on the season by any stretch of the imagination, but it still gives you the option of saying, maybe we retool and reschool a little bit early so that we don't lose these guys for nothing. And I think that's something the Astros are going to have to start thinking about.
Well, I don't know what you grab in a shortened season, obviously, with a month left to go. I don't know what you can get. Right. Well, unless Springer comes to terms long term. Well, but how many prospects are you going to give up for a guy for 1 month?
No. I'm saying you get. Oh, how many is another team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they have to believe they're going to keep him.
Yeah. Right. They got to come to terms with him before you do the deal.
Somebody with the plan.
Hey, you hear that, Bill O'Brien? And you could and you actually get that job done to get a George Springer. But otherwise, this is probably the worst year for George Springer to be a free agent and for teams to pick up guys who are going to be free agents, because you're only going to get them for a month. And God only knows with this playoff system as opposed to other playoff systems. I don't know, but George Springer and Carlos Correa, unless you, like you said, Verlander is coming back, the Astros might be sellers.
What about Zach Greinke?
As opposed to buyers.
What about Zach Greinke? There may be some real value for, even though it's short term, Zach Greinke, for his value of what he could offer a team and the way he's pitching right now. I'm just saying, you might be able to move 3 players out of here and replenish some of your minor league system. It should be something they think about.
But then again, what minor league system, Lance? There's no minor.
Well, some teams do have players down and.
Well, you have
waiting.
the guys in Corpus. Yeah, you got the guys down in Corpus, and you got a limited number of those guys too. So this is as difficult a year for trading, for upgrading your team, or to sell your team as there's ever been.